Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Since October is coming to an end, this is absolutely the best moment for some spooky recommendations. Yay! Pop culture gal. That's me. I'm pop culture gal. Now, you may or may not know, if you know me personally, you know I fucking hate horror movies. I am terrified. I am very easily scared, but I can read horror books. And sometimes a little spooky ambient is great for, these autumn feelings. There will be 3 categories of recommendations. First one is books, then some video games, and then finally TV shows. Spooky books recommendations! So the first one I want to talk about is called Cinderella is Dead. This book is just great. It's amazing. The pitch is Cinderella's story is real. So in Cinderella's kingdom, 200 years after her death, the king in place has put some new rules that are deeply sexist. So every girl needs to attend the ball when they turn 16. They have 3 shots at the ball and they need to get picked by a man, so they will marry whichever man picks them. Of course there's a ranking, so if one peasant man pick them and one nobleman pick them, the nobleman wins because his social class is higher. So the main character is this young woman who's gay, and gay people are not allowed in the kingdom. So she has this affair with one of her friends and she has to go to her first ball, but she doesn't want to because she's gay. So first of all, she's not interested in men, and she's also not interested in the deeply sexist kingdom rules. So she runs away. Now, this book is so much more than that. I can't tell you anything after that because it would be a lot of spoilers, but she runs away and she decided that she wants to take down this king, this evil king, and this whole kingdom. It's called Cinderella is Dead for a reason. Yay. There's talks about raising Cinderella from the dead actually, so. But anyway, there are a lot of spooky vibes in this. Cemetery action, witches and everything. It's a great autumn read, for real. The second book would be Mexican Gothic, so it's a horror book. It's set in Mexico actually, because the author is Mexican, and it's about this young girl that receives a weird letter from her cousin. Like, her cousin looks absolutely crazy in the letter, and so her father tells her to go and see her cousin, see if they need to get her out of it because she needs to see a psychiatrist. So she travels away from the capital city to go to this small city in this big house, and she discovers what's happening. And at first it starts, like really, it's a bit of a Huis Clos vibe, like everything is happening inside this house, and at first she doesn't know what's happening, and then she starts to understand, to uncover a lot of things and understand what is going on. It's very spooky. It's really good. It's a great book. It's a horror book. It's not gory, like there's no blood or anything, but it's very insidious and you get into it, and like the writing is great. Like, it absorbs you from the beginning. Like, you start reading the book and you absolutely want to read the whole fucking book. Another book for that is Labyrinth Los. It's big witches vibes, actually. Brujas vibes. It's about a Latinx community in New York who are old witches, brujas as they call it in Spanish. So it's this young girl who needs to do like her death day to have like a big part, because she needs to, like, once she has her power, she has this kind of celebration to, settle her power and be more safe. But she absolutely do not want her powers. When this celebration happens, she does some kind of thing and she wants to get rid of her powers, but she makes a mistake and actually sends all her family into like a void of something. Like, she sends her family in some kind of purgatory. So bad, but she finds help and goes inside and tries to help them, and so she has to navigate this very special purgatory that is the one of her religion and her gods. And it's really good. It's very dynamic, and it's a very Halloween-esque vibe, and a lot of witches happening and magic and understanding magic and accepting magic and themselves. And it's really great. Like, I was reading the book and I was like, this needs to be a movie actually, because it's so visual the way it's described, and there's so many actions that never time off. You read this book and always something is always happening, and it's very visual, and you like it would make an amazing movie in the kind of, you know, Labyrinth and Hunger Games kind of movie. It would be absolutely amazing. It's a great novel. Apparently there's a follow-up, but I haven't read it yet, but I want to. And finally, the fourth and final book rec would be Wilder Girls, which is translated in French for the French people here. So Wilder Girl is about a school, where an only girls school, where they've been locked in for a couple of times now, and they've been locked in because something happened outside. They don't have any information, but they started to have malformations. You know, like when they get older, they have this physical crisis, like their body goes through some kind of puberty, but a gory puberty. You know, sometimes they lose an eye or something, and they have like big scars, and their body changes in a very unnatural way. And so they're in this school, they're stuck here, they're quarantining. We follow a group of 3 girls, they have 3 friends, and one of them goes missing. And they can't find her, like nobody gives them information on where she is, and so one of them goes after her. And the other girl decides to find her and go into this quest of finding her friend, and she uncovers a lot of truth behind everything that's happening also. And it's a very good book. It's amazing, truly. Now for video games. There's 2 easy video games for that. If you like the spooky autumn vibe, you can have like Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley, which are very seasonal. Like Animal Crossing changes with each season, so now you can grow pumpkins and you have to actually prepare for Halloween, which is super cute. And a lot of, you know, special spooky vibes. It's very autumn, so is Stardew Valley. You have all the seasons, so they are both great games. So, but 2 other games that are really into the spooky season vibes would be Luigi Mansions. It's about ghosts, it's amazing. But no, it's a great, it's about Luigi trying to save his friend, but he's absolutely terrified about everything happening. But he's into a haunted mansion, and he's fighting ghosts and swallowing them with his aspirator and everything. It's very fun, and you can play it too, and it's really cool, and it's very light and very funny, and check it out, definitely. It's a great game. The other one is The Witcher 3, which is available on Switch, on PC, It's amazing. If you haven't played it, it's an open world game where you play Geralt of Rivia and you're actually hunting monsters. There's a backstory, but the world is huge. In this one, it's a complete edition, so there's a 2 other one, like Heart of 2 expansion packs, Heart of Stone and Blood and Wine. Blood and Wine is amazing. It's really super cool, and you have a lot of things to do. You can put like hundreds and hundreds of hours of gameplay in it. If you haven't played it, I strongly advise it. It's a lot of monsters, it's a very grim vibe, and yeah, very spooky. And the monsters are a bit gross sometimes. But the game is awesome. TV show. For spooky season, the biggest TV show, of course, would be Hannibal. Hannibal is great. If you do not like a bit gory stuff, do not watch it. It's very visual sometimes, but Hannibal is about Hannibal Lecter. It's a TV show adaptation of the book, The Silence of the Lamb. So it's about Hannibal Lecter, and it's absolutely great. It's amazing. The actor who plays Hannibal, Mads Mikkelsen, is awesome in it. A lot of the deaths are strangely poetic, but also absolutely fucking awful. It's really amazing. I absolutely love this. The second one would be Grimm. So I haven't watched it in a while, but it's a TV show I was watching when it started, and I really like it. If you like police and thriller shows, you go for it. It's about a young police officer who suddenly starts seeing, when he looks at people, some people, they become absolutely horrific, and he thinks he's going absolutely crazy. But his aunt actually tells him that he's a long lost descendant of the Grimm brothers, and he can see monsters for who they really are. So he can see through the human mask of monster. So it's about this man who's trying to do his job as a police officer and keeps encountering monsters and just like seeing them, but can't explain that he sees that this totally normal guy is absolutely not normal the way he sees it. So it's really great because the first season, I think the first episode is a remake of the Red Riding Hood. So in the first season and the later season, you recognize these old tales. So it's really fun the way they make it a bit horrific and more adult in this TV show, and it's a really nice TV show. It's really cool. So obviously I've advised you to play The Witcher 3, so you have the TV show that goes with it. It's basically the same plot. The TV show is a bit chronologically, it's a bit weird, but it's also really cool, and I do like the game better than the TV show, but the TV show is so much better than the books. Like the books, not so cool, but the TV show is pretty great, so it's a nice read. It's only one season, so. Another big spooky one, but much more fun, would be Santa Clarita Diet. It's a more funny and a lot more bloody one. It's about a woman who slowly becomes a zombie, and she doesn't know what's happening, and so she's trying to figure it out, but it's absolutely hilarious, but it's a bit, a bit autumn spooky vibe, so check it out. It's on Netflix. It's a Netflix TV show. Sadly, it was interrupted, it was cancelled, but it's still really great and really funny, and it's a very fun watch. Like, you keep laughing through it, and it's a bit absurd. It's a very absurd show, but it's awesome. And the final TV show recommendation, actually I haven't watched the whole thing, I just started the first season, but I feel like it really fits the Halloween spooky vibe. It would be Doom Patrol, and it's a superhero TV show where the superheroes are losers and they're actually this band of losers trying to help people but thinking they're absolutely losers, so they actually would prefer to stay home and like do nothing and not interact with the outside world. But I really like it so far, and I think it's a great spooky rec. So, yay! Enjoy all the spooky recommendation for spook months. Happy October and happy Halloween for you guys. Bye!